Hello everyone, I invite you to every Monday's cryptocurrency review. Let's start by checking the current situation on the BTC pair to USDT, taking into account the 4-hour interval. First, we will use blue lines to mark the local uptrend channel in which the BTC price is moving. At this point, it is worth looking at the EMA cross 10 and 30, which confirm the return to the local downtrend. But on the volume, which also indicates a definite advantage of sellers, we can observe that this volume is quite low. Now we can move on to marking support areas in case of deepening of the current correction. And here we see that the price is just before the support at $29,359. Then we have the second support at $28,850. Then there is a strong support zone from $28,314 to $27,570. If the zone is broken, the next support is at $26,635. Looking the other way, in a similar way using the fib retracement tool, we can determine the places of resistance. The first resistance is at $29,696. Then we will mark the resistance zone from $29,947 to $30,660 when it is broken, and the next resistance is at $31,045. Further, we can see an increase to around $32,117. Please pay attention to the CHOP index, which indicates that the energy has been used in the current correction. The MACD indicator confirms the ongoing local downtrend. While the RSI has a strong rebound, which may indicate that the current correction will start to slow down. As the second chart in today's review, we'll be looking at ETH versus USDT on a one-day timeframe. As we can see, the price broke the main downtrend line and then exited the downtrend channel above. We are currently moving in a new uptrend channel. Now let's move on to marking the places of support. We will use the fib retracement tool to mark the support, and as you can see, we have the first support at $1,841. When the price goes lower, we have a strong support zone from $1,658 to $1,507, and then we have support at $1,364. Looking the other way, we can also mark the places where the price should encounter resistance on the way to increases. And here we have the first very strong resistance at the price of $2,236. When the price goes up and positively tests it, the second resistance will be encountered at the price of $2,558, then the third resistance at the price of $3,010, and the next fourth resistance at the price of $3,585. It is worth paying attention to the EMA cross 50 and 200, which indicate the place of return to an uptrend after a long-term downward trend. The CHOP index indicates that the energy has been used. The MACD indicator indicates an ongoing uptrend. On the other hand, on the RSI, we have crossed the upper border of the range, which may weaken the further increase in the price and give some moments of rest. As the third, we will check the BNB chart on a 4-hour interval. With the blue lines, we will mark the uptrend channel in which the price is moving. Let's start by marking the support places for the price, and we see that we first have support at $337.30, but if the price goes lower, we have another support at $333.80, then at $323.50, then we can see strong drop to around $307.20. Looking the other way, we can similarly determine the places of resistance that the price has to face. And here we see that the price has failed to break through the strong resistance zone from $345 to $350 at the moment. Next is resistance at $354.40, third resistance at $358.50, and then fourth resistance at $364. The CHOP index indicates that the energy is slowly regaining strength. The MACD indicates a transition to a local downtrend. While the RSI indicates a rebound, but in this situation we are still in the upper part of the range. As the last in today's review, we will check the DOT chart on the 4-hour interval. As we can see, the price is moving in the uptrend channel. Let's start by marking the support spots for the price, and we see that we first have a support zone from $6.46 to $6.21. However, if the price goes lower, we have a second support zone from $6.01 to $5.80. Looking the other way, we can similarly determine the places of resistance that the price has to face. And here we see that the price is currently fighting a strong resistance at $6.85 equal to 0.618 fib. We continue to have a strong resistance at $7.31. Once the price breaks it, it will move towards the resistance at $7.90. The CHOP index indicates that the energy has been used up. The MACD indicates that the uptrend is maintained, while the RSI has crossed the upper limit of the range, which, according to our rule, often ends with a price rebound, and so we see a small correction. Technical analysis is provided by a third party, and for informational purposes only. It does not reflect the views of CryptoDaily, nor is it intended to be used as legal, tax, investment, or financial advice.